Right, what's going on, guys? We're live. Cruz,
Hello,
Phil,
hello.
we're here. Apologize that we didn't jump on yesterday. Cruz had a previous engagement um, that he had to take care of, so we had to move it over to Tuesday. But we've been uh, going at it now for a while. So consistent with every week, and you know we're here trying to figure out what the next steps are. Actually, today I finished up a lot of things. Um, More specifically, nailing down my travel plans and stuff like that. Last week was kind of a
Okay.
uh,
All
last
right,
week
that's what
was
I was gonna ask. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you before, but I was holding off till we started. So what's your plan? Because your situation obviously down there is way different than somebody else that's looking to get out. You know, you kind of have an establishment there. Be going back. Sophia's there.
yeah. So the unfortunate thing was I spoke with my mother and her husband last week, and I told them about the situation where there's a curfew during the week. People have to be home by 8 o'clock, and then on the weekends, no one can go out. So it's basically everyone's just stuck at home. And my mother wasn't too bothered by that. She's like, "Oh, we'll just relax." But her husband, just was like, "Why are we going to go on vacation and just not be able to do stuff?" You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's relax on the weekend, but I mean, you're gonna be she's staying at what, an Airbnb or something? Like you're just and yeah, I mean, I guess you sit around there and you make some food and they could come over and hang out with you and stuff, and that could be something, but I mean, there's just so much to do that you're gonna be missing out on.
Yeah. And I didn't want to torture him with that. And like I said, it was a sad thing to bring up, but it was like I have to bring it up. I have to talk about like what's going on there so that nobody's blindsided as far as with the whole traveling situation. And even talking with you is like I did not want to bring up that topic, and it came kind of all of a sudden, right? But it w-
Yeah.
but the news itself came out all of a sudden. It was one of those things where, again, do you want to risk riding it out until May 20th, or I just didn't want to put anyone through that drama. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna say it, let people know what's going on, and it's kind of just the unfortunate reality. But the situation with me, it's different. So today I actually just bought my ticket. I used up my
Nice.
JetBlue. I'm finally flying something other than
Yeah.
Spirit.
I've been saving my JetBlue points for Ecuador because they have good flights there. Um, but they also have reasonable flights to somewhere else, which I'm investigating.
And what
Um,
is that other place?
so there's a chance. So update, Pat send me the picture this past week. He's got passport in hand,
Nice,
delivered,
nice.
updated, which is huge news. We started doing a real deep dive on Mexico, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they're open. So it's a spot where, after looking at it for a little bit, you could definitely go around Mexico for a couple months pretty easily if you wanted to stay at a few spots. But I think you could hit one of the prime location areas for about a month. Um, and really get to like enjoy that area, enjoy the surrounding area and a few things. Maybe do a weekend somewhere else and like get a good feel for the place. And then if you do go back and try somewhere else.
All right. All right.
So I actually found a great article. I'll link it in chat here. Let me Mexico Digital Nomad, pull it back up. It's actually by a company that does. Yeah, have you ever heard of the Wi-Fi Tribe?
Oh,
So Wi-Fi Tribe is a company that sets up these long-term stays with other digital nomads and organizes everything. The place that you're going to stay, you're sharing communal. It's a great concept, especially for somebody, if you're not super on a budget, you're a little worried about kind of going to a whole nother country or somewhere by yourself.
yeah.
Um, they set up these blocks. So you apply to be a member of the Wi-Fi tribe, and then they'll be like, okay, we're doing a month or 2 months here. this is going to be where I stay and everything. And then you say, and there's like, okay, this is the amount of money for your accommodations and everything there. And they'll set you up with some type of communal room with the other digital nomads from the Wi-Fi tribe. So it's a way to get out and kind of explore as a solo person. I think a solo person that's a little nervous about it and isn't trying to, save everything. Because I looked at the prices of some of their things, and you can definitely stay at Airbnbs and other things for a fair bit cheaper. And I actually found out about these people when we were in Croatia and researched them. I thought it was extremely interesting. So for anybody that's looking at that and was wondering about it, that's definitely an option. The thing is that they did have a guide that, when I was searching, really did a great dive on like top 10 places to go and stay in Mexico, things, pros, cons, some descriptions, talks about the Wi-Fi in a lot of locations if it's not that great, kind of what's going on in the area. It's a really, really decent digital nomad blog. Synopsis of Mexico. It doesn't get into the nitty-gritty of like exactly what to see and what to do in each location. You can research that for yourself, but it's a great high level view of about 10 cities within Mexico. And it actually kind of sparked my interest even more in Mexico, because I'd always been like, Mexico, I'll go and see it kind of. But after reading this, I was like, you know what? The place has a ton to offer, and a lot of the places look great. So we're kind of a little leaning towards the Playa del Carmen, a little more, quote unquote gringo, a little more touristy, but that central location where it is, not far from like the Cancun airport, it's got a couple things that we're really looking for. Obviously, good Wi-Fi, good infrastructure there. Going to be pretty reliable overall because they do get a bit of tourism through there. It has great weekend nightlife. Unlike Mexico City, which I would love to spend some time in Mexico City if it was longer stay, but if we're just looking for like a month or 5 weeks, I want to be near the beach. I want to be able to go to the beach and everything. Mexico City is not going to be able to facilitate that at all. And it is also pretty close to Tulum. If you want to shoot up to Tulum, it's pretty close to Cancun. If you wanted to shoot up to Cancun and just check it out for a little bit, along with some other like ruins and other little things along in the area. So more than enough going on between just some weekend nightlife, some other excursions in that area that you can fill up a month without even trying. And then again, over Tulum is the prices in Playa del Carmen. Bang for your buck. It's slightly cheaper, I would say, from the Airbnbs I've been looking at. But what you actually get in the Airbnbs is significantly more. It's not cheap. There's some other locations on that list there that are great places to stay that are a bunch cheaper. Playa del Carmen is a little more touristy. It's a little more up. We're looking at some 2 bedrooms around the $1,500 to $2,000 a month mark, split between 2 people. But these places are downtown, literally have everything that you could possibly want. Washer, dryer, huge common areas, gorgeous places, 2 bedrooms, sometimes 2 bathrooms. A lot of places have a pool at the facilities there that look gorgeous. A lot of them have gyms, so you can, get a quick workout along with finding some other, exercise activities to do for that price. And that wasn't for a month. I actually had it in for like 36 days was the stretch that I had listed. Yeah. So overall, given the location of its tourism and everything, really reasonable price. Really, to be able to stay in Playa del Carmen at that Airbnb price, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I think one of the things too is that it's a good centralized area, and there's things to do. The last kind of situation you want to run into is staying at a place. You want to have a good time, but there's limited activities. Even if you're just doing things on the weekends, or after you get out of work during the day, just
the travel time, right?
Yeah, like it's like when you're kind of in that centralized area, and you're not having to drive out, for 3 or 4 hours to get to a place, and you can just kind of,
Yeah, I think it's like a little over an hour. It's only like a little over an hour to head up to Tulum, so you can head up to Tulum for a weekend. I think it was maybe like 2 or so or something to Cancun at the most. Plus a ton of stuff just going on there if you just wanted to stay there for the weekend. The beaches are gorgeous there. Just it's looking pretty prime. We've done some research. We're looking into it, waiting to figure out potential on a finalized, but it would be like mid-June to mid-July, which really works well to get back, pack and square some stuff away that he needs to square away in Chicago, and it'll give a little bit of a dip downtime for me to come back, reset, and hopefully, as far as I know, I mean, I've looked. Are you familiar with what's going on with the EU as far as getting in, as far as Europe? As far as I know, it's a country by country basis, and you actually technically can get into a lot of countries right now. That's what I believe to be the case. I don't know if you've actually looked into it.
I have not, just because it's not in my near future to travel other than Tenerife.
Well, that's the one. So
yeah.
I just popped this. And so I'm just gonna. I have the COVID.co pop Spain, because what I'm saying about the downtime and everything is Ecuador was a big one. Really want to get down there. Obviously, we'll get to Colombia at some point. Like, the big one, and hopefully it goes well. The big one where I want to get that little reset, because I got a feeling we're going to be gone for a good chunk of time, is that Tenerife early August. That second week of August, heading out towards Tenerife for as long as they'll probably let me stay there.
I think that place is going to be, I'm not trying to build it up or anything. It just looks cool. It's on a volcano island, and it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not far from Morocco, or the coast of Morocco. I mean, it's definitely very different. But one of the things, though, I am glad that that you did find another location. I thought you were going to say Vietnam, to be honest, 'cause I know you mentioned it before, but it was
Which one?
Vietnam.
No, we won't do that. I won't dip out to Vietnam without you, Kuya. That wouldn't be very nice.
Oh, thanks for thinking of me.
Goal 5 million. Spain administer more vaccines.
So here's an interesting thing while you're looking at that kind of stuff right now.
Yeah, no, it looks open. It looks like it's just saying PCR test.
Yeah,
it says it's
as long as
partially allowed.
As long as that stays the same, I think everyone's going to be okay. When I spoke with the JetBlue representative today, the person actually, I asked the person, I was like, oh, are there more people traveling? It's like, oh, it's been picking up. So that's to me, it's a really good sign to be able to know that people are out there. They're feeling confident about traveling. Several places, especially in the U.S., like Texas, there's no mandate to wear the mask and all that kind of stuff. So,
nope.
There's definitely some very good shifts going on all around. I am disappointed about Ecuador closing until May, which this we got time. I'll I'll get my visa for Ecuador. Everyone has a chance to go out there. I mean, I even told my mother and her husband's like, oh, just come by at a later period. Wait till I show up. See what the situation is like, and then I can relay that message to everybody else. Other than like I said. So the thing is, her husband still works, so he can only take 2 weeks off, and he has meetings that were set up months in advance. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's one of those things where it's just it's not going to be conducive to to everybody who have commitments at specific time periods, and it's completely understandable. So with that being said, it just I think intentionally what we're trying to give people is that the ability to be confident about traveling, and then like I said, because we keep up with what's going on to the places that we're going to, um, will gather a lot more insight than someone who's kind of just going at it, and not familiarized with the situation that's going on in these areas. So
Yeah, if you're trying to plan and you actually have to take time off, it's almost impossible right now.
Yeah.
Like international is almost impossible.
It's
stateside, you can figure it out a little bit more. You got a good feel for certain places. Like if you book down to Florida or Texas, they're not changing anything. Like you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be able to go down. You'll be able to enjoy yourself. Things aren't going to just change overnight there. But international, it's been a rough one planning anything. That's for sure.
Oh, it's like, I mean, it's literally been like almost every week, right? We go through this phase where we're planning for months in advance, and we're talking about it live, and then like when we get down to the wire, there's a dramatic change, and it's like, you really can't prepare for those other than like, all right, well, buy the flights, and do I take the risk? And here's the thing, actually, apparently, JetBlue, you need to confirm this, but JetBlue is offering refunds. I think if you book your flights before May, so they're still under those guidelines. But I think after May, it's done. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if anyone's out there that's watching this and you guys are planning to travel, the prices aren't absurd. I think they're more normal than anything. My flight, not including baggage fees and things like that, and I ended up picking up the insurance as another safety net. Ended up coming out to about 280.
Okay, that's not bad.
One way. It was one way, but
yeah,
you figure that's kind of what the average price was normally. So it's not.
The prices are creeping back, which I'm surprised that the prices are creeping back, because I know more people are traveling, but it's not an easy travel experience. Like these things can't be booked up.
I don't know if the video's still going, but yeah, so kilobits per second. Crash.
Yeah, it's locking up a little bit.
Check the
A regular router?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's dropping out. It's not even. Yes, I still have. Okay, it's coming back. Okay. Yeah, there's got to be at least 2,000 kilobits a second for it to register. Otherwise, it just goes to trash. All right, it came back. Sorry about that, folks. We're just trying to get the video back online here. So again,
okay.
I'm not going to be really sure about what the situation is going to be like until I arrive there. Obviously, as we get closer to May 20th, we're gonna figure out if this curfew has been lifted, or if it continues, and then from there, hopefully not, because like I said, so Sophia typically meets up with me at the airport, or actually she's done it all the time. But the issue is, like, because the curfew is at 8 o'clock, I arrive at 10:30. There might be a situation as far as her getting to the airport, or having, where she has to wait there for several hours, because the curfew. So.
Oh yeah.
Again,
I didn't think of that one.
Again, it just becomes kind of like a logistical nightmare, you know what I mean, with all the curfews, because yeah, the airport's open, there might be taxis there, but when you're trying to make arrangements with with traveling within the country, right? Because it's not like oh, you come out of the airport and all of a sudden you're at the you're at the place, that
No.
that you're supposed to be at. It's like, no, it's, typically you're going to take a bus, you're going to take a taxi, or an Uber or whatever it is, and then it might.
Yeah, which they were saying that like tourists and people coming off flights and everything and stuff were still allowed to travel and everything. But yeah, it might be best just land there, stay at a spot for a night, right, and then figure it out the next day.
I mean, that's really the only thing. I think the safe thing to do, if the curfew is still there, because like I said, we can get up in the morning, go out and do stuff, but if it's 8 o'clock, or if it's a little bit later, we can't take the bus back to Santa Elena, which is by bus it's a couple of hours. So
Yeah.
we have to wait. So we have to wait until the next day to do that. So I opted, like, I'll just rent out the Airbnb for the night, or might even, just for those couple of days, just to stay in the city and then head back afterwards. You know what? Tell you the truth, I haven't decided yet. I just
Ha.
a lot of it was like squaring away my credit. So I originally booked a flight from Cheapo Air, right? And I had to cancel that flight because of last year, where I couldn't travel that particular time because I
Yep.
supposedly, was sick. So anyway,
Yeah.
so it was a little bit of a process talking with Cheapo Air, which their customer service from all the times that I've dealt with them was really good. But this time it was like they were very put offish. They were just, because I keep notes of all the conversation, and I'm like, oh, I'm just following up so I can use my credit. And they're like, oh, you got to call JetBlue. So I called JetBlue, and then the representative was like, no, they're supposed to handle
Nah,
this.
they always do that. Yeah, because they like own the ticket. Like you can't do anything with JetBlue.
Yeah.
They
Jet,
always do that. You'll call them to do that. They're like, no, you got to call the airline. They know that's not true. Like they
yeah.
know it's not true, but they do it to you every time. Like they know that they own the ticket and they're the ones that can make any like changes or requests to this ticket because they're like technically the owners of it. They're just reselling it. And now you'll call them and they'll be like, nope, you got to go call the airline just to waste your time to hopefully maybe you don't call them back.
Well, the thing, thank God for the representative, Kathy. I mean, she was, awesome. And she's like, you know what? No, yeah, they were supposed to take care of it, but she's like, you know what? Rather than have to go through that whole rigmarole, she's like, I'll just deal with it. I'm like, oh,
Oh, did she
thank
do
God.
it for you?
Oh yeah, yeah, she did. She took care of
Nice.
everything. Issued the credit. Everything went well, and then that was it. It's
Oh
still.
yeah, so she knew exactly what was going on. She's like, I already know this game that they're playing.
So that's the other part, right? With traveling, it's just like dealing with those types of things, especially with changing the itinerary. Like, especially dealing with the credit. And JetBlue, they have a kind of a weird setup. They have, what is it? Their travel bank is what they call it, and basically that's,
Yes, the travel.
so that was
But
my
you gotta
first
like
time.
you gotta like log into your travel bank.
Yes, it's a completely separate
It's
password and account.
like completely separate. No, it's really odd. I don't quite understand it why they did it that way, but that's the way it is. Yeah.
I wonder if it has to do, honestly, I wonder if it has to do with the fact that it's like it's considered money, like an like escrow account or something, So I wonder if they just have it there as some type of custodial account that they don't want to attach to the airline company itself. I don't know. It
It's
was,
got to be something. It's got to be some type of financing reason or something that they're dealing with.
yeah. So that was a good chunk of my day was dealing with that. But I was able to do other stuff, while I was in that queue to wait for my turn. And I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to go back. But disappointed that you and my mother and husband can't
Yeah.
go. I was really pumped. I had these like visions in my mind, like, you, me, and Pat just surfing, surfing during the day,
Ye-
and then later on going out
Getting
at
some
night.
good food, going out. Yeah, man, it was.
But like I said, you and I have been talking about this for so long. It's like why, out of all the things that happens, right to the final, the final hour, there's this dramatic change in time. It's like, oh, come on, I can't, I can't. We can't win. We can't win with Colombia. We can't win with Ecuador. So
No, Colombia. So Colombia, I've heard some things from people where it is. Colombia has been on and off open. I was going through a lot of the digital nomad threads on Reddit.
mhm.
The thing is, they legit are just they like change their rules like every other week. So like all of a sudden, like Medellin will just be like, "Oh, you guys were partying last week. Like you're not partying the next 2 weeks. Curfew, lockdown."
How do you? How does anyone keep track of any of that?
I don't know. They were just people were like, "Oh yeah, it's been fun for a while, but we go into lockdown next week." Like it's just completely all over the place. And then people are like, "Oh well, Cartagena's still kind of open. I'm thinking I'm going heading over there." It's just like unbelievable, and it's not even across. They're doing it like differently, like city by city.
Yeah,
Um, so that's you can't. That's a tough one to deal with.
I'm just wondering what next year is gonna be like, or if this is some continuous, or if we're in the twilight zone for the rest of our lives.
Um, I don't know. I mean, it's the wintertime. Are we going to get phase 15? You know, do you have when does the vaccine wear off? Do you get vaccinated again?
Uh,
Like,
uh,
have they actually said like have they come out and
yeah.
said like, yeah, you're gonna have to get vaccinated every year?
Apparently, that might be the case because of the different variants. That's what some of the discussions are.
Yeah, and I mean that's the delivery of that vaccine is a 1 month for most of them, right?
Yeah, they have different phases. I know it's like there's you take it one day and then you have to wait like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and then you take the next
Yeah.
one, and then it
So the
goes.
distribution time per person is over a month period.
Yeah.
Like, um, yeah, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens.
Well, this.
And then you get
Go ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, go
Uh,
go
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna I was gonna say you start getting the inklings about like are the country's gonna start imposing, the needed little postcard for you to get in.
You know what I've been thinking about the past few weeks, and I have been doing quite a bit of research on some of this stuff, and a lot of it. I hate to admit this, but I've been watching a lot of TikTok, but a lot
Sure.
of a lot of people have been posting some information. I've been, because I want to make sure if it's true or not. So I've been validating a lot of their stuff, right? These people posting about things with the vaccines and whatnot. So anyway, so all that besides the point. So because of this whole travel situation, the possibility of having that little paper that tells you that we're
Yep.
all okay, it made me think about this book I read a lot. You might have read it too, because it was probably a book that you had to read for school. Is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Yeah.
And you know, uh, all of a sudden, right? The character, forgetting the character's name, but the character in the book, has to wear the Scarlet Letter to
Of
indicate
course.
to indicate that she's a witch, and
Yep.
eventually, meets her demise at the end. But in the story, right, this it's a the whole thing is a fluke, right? It's totally farce. It's just people are creating the fear to to make sure that anyone that doesn't fit this narrative of what's going on, it becomes the target, or an easy target, especially showing um, the label on the arm with a scarlet letter, which again translates to, well, what happened in history where someone was marked so that they could be identified. And it's kind of is, and I just find the whole thing kind of, I hate to make anything, make anything about that kind of stuff, but to me, it's the situation with traveling is really, if something like this gets enacted, it's really gonna put a big dent in.
So that's an impressive, even, I mean, I guess that's an impressive change if that comes into play.
It's huge. It's massive.
That's an impressive change. Potentially even more so than everything else that's actually gone on. I don't know. That's a tough one to say. But that's something that once enacted won't go away. Like, masks are going away. These restrictions are going away. There's that 1% that's like, you know what, maybe they kind of sort of stay in some aspects. You know what, maybe you do see some people walking around with masks for different reasons. Whatever. Wear a mask. I don't care if you wear a mask. I could care less. But that one, once enacted, like, that's not going to be casually removed or repealed at all.
Like, I don't, in my honest opinion, I don't think that it's going to happen in the U.S. Although I could be wrong, but I'm worried about other countries that have different rules.
I think New Zealand absolutely does it, just
Oh,
based
really?
on how they initially, how New Zealand and Australia, based on how they initially treated everything and what they're doing. I think that they'll do it.
Really?
Yep. A few of the Southeast Asia countries, I think, might do it. Just based on how they've been treating things a little bit, I think they're likely. I think South America, I don't think that they will do it. I don't see them doing it. I don't actually see the US doing it. Canada 50-50, UK won't do it. I don't think Ireland will do it. I'm concerned over the EU, because if one of them does it, I think they're all going to do it.
Yeah. That is a good point. It's something that we do have to keep up with, because obviously that'll be an issue when
So, I
traveling.
mean, it's no big secret. Like, I mean, I don't think this gets knocked off, but like, I'm not getting it. Like, it's not. So, and it's not like I'm an anti-vax. I don't need it.
Well, you want to hear a crazy fact? So I was telling you about doing the research and stuff. The vaccines aren't even through phase 1 yet. Wrap your head around that.
No, they got fast tracked.
Yeah, but they're not even through phase 1. Phase 1 ends November 22nd. November
Yeah,
2022.
the normal FDA approval for stuff is like wildly long.
Yeah. So if you start, like, just to look at that, you go, I want to wait, because
listen, I'm not, if down the road this becomes a norm thing and everything, whatever, maybe I will, but like, I don't need it. I don't need it. It's not gonna, COVID's not the way I go out.
Yeah.
Nobody in my immediate family or friends is saying that I need it, because they won't hang out with me or see me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not getting it. At least not now, that's for sure.
Well, here's the thing. I got my yellow fever vaccine, but
I got my yellow fever little card. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yellow fever is tried and true. Did you read up what happens to you if you get yellow fever? It's not funny. And there's no like kind of affects certain people differently. Like, no, yellow fever is bad. You do not. You don't want to get it. Even if you get it and you end up being fine, like, there's a chance you have like permanent nervous system damage and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So again, full disclosure, I got my yellow fever vaccine, but it's tried and true. You know what I mean? So that's my only reservation. I have, like you, and we've discussed before. It's not that we're against what's going on, but
no,
it's phase 1.
I turned down the hepatitis A vaccine. It's a foodborne, it's a foodborne illness, usually associated with fecal matter and not having properly prepared food that, yes, for, up to a month, you could have a very upset stomach and it's not great to have, but you'll be fine. I turned it down. I didn't get it. I could have gotten it, or I can just make sure, I keep an eye on what I'm eating and not take something extra that I actually don't really need. Like I could be in some discomfort, but it's not the end of the world. I turned it down. And that's a pretty tried and true one now. The Hep A vaccine has been around for a while, long while now.
Yeah.
Yellow fever has been around for a really, really long while. There's zero discrepancy in what happens to you if you get yellow fever. And I don't want any part of it. I got the yellow fever vaccine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I did the exact same thing. Just because, like I said, it's one thing where, there's a tried and true. It went through the phases. I'm just not in that mode where a drug is still in clinical trials. The clinical trials don't end until 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think that I want to wait.
Okay, you do. I think I talked about before. Like we do know, that the polio vaccine that they had to pump out and crank out gave a couple million women cervical cancer, right?
Well,
and they knew it was gonna what?
No, go ahead, sir.
Oh, the polio vaccine. They cranked out a ton of it because they needed to stop polio, and it gave a bunch of millions of women cervical cancer. They knew what was going on, but they'd already produced the drug and had to keep giving it out because it stopped polio and kept cranking. Government had already done it, created it, sent it out. So, I mean, stuff goes wrong. It happens. I don't think they did it on purpose, or anything like that. But I know that I just don't need the vaccine right now, so I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
Unless they're like, you can't come to this country, and then I'm going to be like, you know what? Maybe just shoot me up. Just kidding. I'm going to take one for the team. But if I had to pick one, I'll say if I was picking one right now, I'm going Johnson & Johnson, traditional, dead virus. Give me that one. I don't know, no reorganizing my chromosomes. No. Give me.
It doesn't use the CRISPR, the CRISPR mRNA.
No. Johnson & Johnson is the traditional dead virus. That's why it only has the 80-something% efficacy as compared to the 90-something with the mRNA ones.
Oh, okay, so it's Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Pfizer are the mRNA.
Yep, and then Johnson & Johnson came out with the traditional one, the same style that they use for the flu vaccine.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't.
With an asterisk of I think that is right, and I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, again, with that being said, I would definitely agree on that part for sure, because
blood clots is fine. Just give me that dead virus. It's fine.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, and I know other people have said this, we're all part of the experiment with these drugs, right? So we're the control group because we haven't done it yet. But there's the people who have taken it are the
That's right.
They're the ones that are testing it to see if it works. So, like I said,
I did go to a vaccine clinic on Sunday. I don't know if that counts towards getting vaccinated. I'm gonna have to look into it.
I don't know. Maybe it's in the air. Now you're protected.
I went inside the building. I mean, I was driving somebody. I was dropping off. She was going in and everything. And it was actually over at Gillette Stadium. I just had to use the bathroom. We were driving up there. I'm staying for a while. Went to go in. They're like, nope, unless you got an appointment, you can't come in here. Like, why can't I come in here? Is the big Gillette Stadium. Like, let me just walk in and go and use the bathroom. Nope, you got to go.
Really?
You know what? Your vaccine's extra dumb now. I'm out of here.
Are you serious, dude?
Yeah. They had like it all blocked off going up the escalator. I was like, oh, I just dropped somebody off for a vaccine. I was just wondering if I could go in and, I just got to go and use the restroom while I'm waiting. Nope, can't let you in unless you have an appointment.
Wow.
Like,
Appointment to go to the bathroom?
the building is huge. What do you think I'm going to run around? We're going to run around and steal your vaccines? What am I doing? No, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going up. I got 2 masks on because you gave me a medical mask. Okay. You know what the medical mask that they gave me was? It's just a little one that looks blue and is like super thin. It wasn't some like M95 mask or anything. It was just like one of the little like blue ones that you kind of sort of sometimes see like doctors wearing.
Yeah.
It was just one of those little chintzy little guys. They were like, "Oh, you don't have a medical one here. You got to put this on. Put that on underneath your mask, and then put your other mask on." I'm like, "Okay, I did this. Can I please just use the bathroom now?" No. All right, whatever. I knew I was going to go in and I wasn't going to wash my hands and I was going to contaminate the place. That's why.
Put your hands all over the walls. Oh,
All over.
beautiful day.
I was gonna take my mask off, just start licking walls, just doing wild stuff.
Oh man.
It's okay. Shout out to the Hilton over there at Patriot Place. Very nice lady at the front desk. She let me use her restroom. Much appreciated. Go stay there. Patronize them.
Was the hospital busy? Was it crazy? Was there,
Gillette? Oh, the place was packed. There was like the parking lot.
The hospital?
Because they were doing it right at the stadium.
Oh, outside.
No, inside. You went into the stadium. They had like the different entrances were like an east site, west site. Yeah, and there was tons of cars. There was a stream of people heading in there. They were cranking it out.
Wow. Something just seems a little off with all this stuff. I don't know. Maybe I've been watching too many conspiracy theories. Although you gotta admit, like there's just coincidental with a lot of the things that's been going on. And
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan at all. Just seems some stuff seems a little fishy. And just, I'm with you on it. Just something seems a little off. Seems a little too driven, right?
It's more driven than what's normal. Okay, like what happened to the numbers? I ask myself these types of questions, and I'm not the only one. And like I said, I watch TikTok videos and people are posting the exact same questions. Like, well, why did the flu number drop? And how come, this other thing, spiked up? What happened to all the other sicknesses? Part of the reason is that a lot of them weren't getting reported, right? People are posting uh, stuff. Nurses going undercover and checking records in the hospital. Like they have a video of this. They have like stuff blurred out. So, like I said, I mean, I think there's some good Samaritans there that just want to get to the truth. They want to get to the facts, and no BS type of stuff. And again, I can't validate if some of the stuff that those are true, but I can say that some of the things that I can investigate, obviously go online and check, has been proven.
The no flu numbers is kind of odd because right, so like flu social distancing completely stops the flu. So you're saying basically based on these numbers that COVID would have to be literally like 1,000 times more contagious because your actions for transmission and passing are exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
Of how you moved around and transmit it and everything. Like your actions are exactly the same. So you're going to transmit both of those generally the same. There was like literally 0.5% of the normal amount of flu cases that there were this year.
Yeah.
It's like wildly low. So it would literally, yeah, it would have to be like 1,000 times more contagious to have spread in that manner as opposed to the flu vaccine or flu virus, right?
Yeah.
Seems a little odd.
So here's the other weird stuff that people are talking about. And again,
Because if it was 1,000 times more, then everybody already had the COVID.
well, here's the thing.
Because flu rips through, right?
Yeah, it goes through. You get sick maybe for like a week and a half, and you feel like trash, right? I've had the flu once, and actually no, I had it twice because after I took a flu vaccine, I felt like absolute garbage the next day.
Do you usually get the flu vaccine?
I took it once for the first time and ended up getting really sick for like 2 days.
Yeah, I've never taken it.
That was the last time. That was the last time for me. I was like, you
Yeah,
know,
so I mean, this isn't about COVID. I don't take the flu vaccine either. So
yeah. So it was offered for free. I was like, I never when I was when I was working for one of the companies, and I took it, and there was actually a lot of people that didn't take it, but they offered it. I got I got the vaccine, and the funny thing was I only got it once previously.
yep.
I got it pretty bad, and like I said, but the sickness went away. I was fine. But when I took it um, when I took it this time, I was like, if I got sick and I was okay, I was okay afterwards. Why do I, it's like, no, I'll just get, I'll get sick. It's not that big of a deal. But
Yeah.
here's one of the other conspiracy theories. What if these vaccines are actually creating the new variants?
Hmm. I mean, it's, oh, well, because the vaccine, you get it, you're vaccinated, and the virus is trying to mutate to get around it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's generally viruses, if they're being successful, they generally won't, I don't believe, and I could be wrong, they generally aren't as inspired to mutate if what they're doing works, right?
supposedly. that's I guess that's the intent, right? I mean, we're in phase.
Generally, I mean, mutations are either random or they're adaptations, right?
Yeah,
A mutation is generally speaking is usually an adaptation or that random blip that causes a mutation, right?
yeah. So, like I said, we're still in phase one. We have we have a year, roughly about a year and a half before phase one is done.
I will say that there
So,
is one, there's a side random decent thing that actually came out of this, I will say. And I was responsible for it too as well. Is if you do end up having to go back to the office, some people will have to, some people are going back, some people will have to go back to the office, right?
mhm.
Ain't nobody showing up to that office sick ever again. Like that is not happening. No, like that is completely banned now. You got the sniffles or something, whatever. You got a little cough, like you're not coming in the office. They will stop you at the door and tase you and roll you out. Like it's not going to be allowed. And I mean, that actually is a decent benefit. Hopefully, companies that can, afford it and it's within their reason and people can just work remote and stay home, even if they are requiring office time, recognize that and like enforce it, and not enforce it, but inspire it. Like it's fine, just stay
Mm,
home, work remote, do what you can, and not because there is that feeling, and there always has been that mentality in corporate that like I got to go in, I got to show myself, I got to be here no matter what. I got to make my presence known, look tough. I'm working through this no matter what. There is that mentality. And it really goes against a lot of the stuff that we're talking about with the whole work-life balance, work to live, not live to work, and do stuff differently. So I
mm.
hopefully that mentality change does actually stick. And that's the way going forward. Get rid of the old school mentality in certain aspects. And hopefully that leads into other things.
Well, I know that there's some regulations that have definitely enabled that. because before I think it was a little bit more restrictive rules wise. And actually, when the previous president was in office, he was actually one of the people that championed the whole sick leave thing. I want to say
Yeah.
I could be off on this, but I want to say that that was one of the major changes that happened for the workforce. So anyone out there that's you know thinking that the previous president was was that
Are you
bad.
talking about the Massachusetts or the federal? I don't know about the federal. The Massachusetts one was done differently. That's a state level
No,
one.
I think it was the federal one because it went through. They there was a meeting that we had at at work, and they were saying that it's like, oh, you don't need a doctor's visit, doctor's note. If you have like 2 weeks, it was like 2 weeks, just kind of a no questions asked.
Yeah. Ours is unlimited. If you're out for like 3 or 4 days, like, okay, yeah, you got to go see a doctor. Like if
Yep.
you're just too sick to come into work for like 3 or 4 days, you may actually want to go see somebody.
Yeah.
But in general, it's no big deal. But even with that, I would still go in a lot if I wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
It was just my mentality, and I don't feel that way now at all. Granted, I mean, knock on wood, I've been eating really healthy and obviously not around a ton of people. Like, I can't tell you the last time I've been sick. So,
Well, here's the thing though. Like, if you're around other people, so part of like not getting sick is getting more exposure to elements that that your body is not used
I'm
to too.
kind of lying. Never mind. I've gone around a lot. I've been around. There's been stretches I've been around a ton of people. That was a lie. There's stretches where I don't see anybody at all. And then there's some long stretches where I see everyone you can imagine. So,
Wait, how's the gym? Like, is there a good amount of people there? Or do they limit
oh, the
the?
gym's the best. I'm not gonna give them any. If anybody doesn't care for, I'm not gonna give them any negative press. I'm gonna give them some pump for my side. Is nobody cares there. You just go and work out. Nobody cares at all. They have all the appropriate signs up. They're following everything that they need to be following as far as putting their signs up and telling people and this and that. But you just go and work out. And if you got to get a little extra oxygen, or if you just want some extra oxygen, let's just say nobody there is going to look at you sideways or even remotely even care at all. Never once have I seen, there's no like side eye. Nobody cares. Like, we're all here working out.
Yeah. No, that's reassuring to know because, like I
Oh, it's
said,
pretty busy. It's busy.
yeah,
It's pretty busy.
it's great. I mean, it's a what obviously we like working out, and when we go to a place where it's a gathering place for working out, whether you're engaging with other people, it's still a good feeling to have when you're around other people working out because it's a collective, it's a collective feeling, or there's a collective set of goals there that people that
Yeah.
have different different levels of what they want to do at the gym, but just being around that, it's like it's a nice feeling of community, whether you're engaging with people or not. And that's like I said, really assuring to hear that people aren't worried about other people's
No. And
not doing
everybody's
well.
being good. Like everybody, before there would be like, there would be a chunk of people that like wouldn't wipe stuff down and everything, like, which is actually looking back on it, it's a little gross because like sometimes you are like real sweaty. And if you jump it on a machine, like you're just sitting in somebody else's sweat or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a little gross. Everybody's like real good about wiping stuff down. But as far as like, the mask Gestapo, like, nah, there's no mask Gestapo there. So, which is good because, like, that's technically the rule. So I try and behave and, keep it on as much as possible. But like, there's a lot of stretches like this mask needs to come off. Like, I'm sucking some wind over here.
Oh yeah, it's probably more dangerous.
Yeah, I'm struggling over here. So like, yeah, no, it's fine. Nobody cares.
I mean, it's exercising. Like you're gonna, if you're lifting heavy weight, people pass out, dude, just lifting weight. So, if you're
Yeah,
not, if you're not,
from oxygen deprivation because you're pushing so hard it like burns up all of that oxygen inside of you.
yeah, So no, that's great. That's great to hear. Like I said, I think anyone that's going out to a public place, shouldn't need to shame other people because it's a public place. People are if someone's at a restaurant, if someone's at the gym or anywhere like that, there shouldn't be any. In my opinion, people shouldn't be shaming other people. Like whether they decide to wear a mask or not. Obviously, I have my own views about it, and I keep.
I did go to an axe throw. I went to an axe throwing place over the weekend, and it was also pretty open. We'll say they weren't because like you can drink while you're there throwing axes and everything. So basically, like you're at like a table, sort of.
Yeah.
But like once you're at your lane and you're drinking and throwing axes, I know, yeah, talking about promoting drinking and throwing axes. But yeah, everybody was just there. No, everybody was just there and doing their thing, enjoying themselves. No problems at all. Nobody said anything. It was like, all right, yep, we're doing this. Perfect. So it's like, yeah, people that are out. If people are out right now, excluding going to just like a restaurant, right? If you're out doing some other types of activities and stuff, the people that are out doing that, I feel, are a little more on we're good with this side. At least that's the vibe I'm getting right now.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a public place. People want to enjoy their time going out. I can't imagine someone who's concerned about it, shouldn't be going out if they're concerned about it.
No, do some push-ups outside, go for a run, do what you got to do. But I want to go in an enclosed place and everything. I mean, yeah.
And this is the axe place in Fall River.
Yeah.
Nice.
The one in Fall River is solid. The one in Fall River, I highly recommend. There's one near me. It's a little pricier. The one over there, for the same price, gives you an hour as opposed to a half hour. Stumpies. Bring your own beer. Bring your own snacks. So you don't even have to worry about that. Yeah, they'll give you a bucket with ice, like a big metal bucket with ice to throw your drinks in. Bring your own beer. Bring your own snacks. It's like $25 a head to throw for an hour. It's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad at all.
No, it's actually pretty cheap. It's pretty good.
Now, was this the date? That should be the next question.
Oh yeah. I was out with my friend. The one I told you about before. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So no, it was that and what did we do before? A little dinner before. Just at home, nowhere else. So, but it was good. We actually tried making I don't recommend it. It was good. So if anybody out there is like vegetarian or vegan, we tried doing the old vegan Alfredo. So if you're like lactose intolerant, which calls for like cauliflower, cashews, you use like an almond milk, everything. You can't call it Alfredo. All right. It's not Alfredo. It doesn't come out like Alfredo. It was like a cauliflower cream style sauce, but it's super thick. And the overall pasta was really decent. Just is not Alfredo. Like it doesn't have the taste of Alfredo. It's not really there. But it was still really good. I mean, super healthy. It was just like cauliflower, cashews, almond milk, no dairy in it, pasta with chicken and broccoli and corn. Super light, really, really delicious, but not Alfredo. Not Alfredo at all.
Well, I cooked Beyond Meat hamburger today, and I opened.
I don't mind those at all. We did a video. I don't mind the Beyond Meats.
You know what? I cooked it and I opened it. I swear to you, man, it smelled like dog food. It smelled like dog food. It was.
Yo, you can't. You know what? You can't just smell that because you know what else also smells absolutely horrendous when you open the bag and is amazing. You have a big bag of pepperoni, and you first slice that thing open. So, like, if you ever worked at a pizza place and you slice that big bag of pepperoni open, that pepperoni bag smells like shit.
All right.
Okay.
True that. I give it.
Yo, just something about that bottled up, whatever it is it's releasing in that bag, it hits you and it's like, oh, these smell bad. But I know you're delicious.
So, no, like I said, the Beyond Meat is good. It was good, but it smelled weird, you know.
That
So
initial aroma.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna have some after we get off the video.
Nice. I'm all done eating for the day. I got to hit the gym and have a little. I think I got a protein bar left. I'm not gonna lie, I fell off the wagon a little bit. I had an enjoyable weekend.
Nothing wrong with that.
So I gotta get back on track. No real damage was done, but you know, you can't be on all the time.
Yeah, that's why there's weekends and rest days.
You know, you gotta enjoy yourself. So I gotta go put in a little extra cardio today, we'll say.
All right. Well, definitely have fun at the gym. You know, so it sounds like you're definitely going to be doing the Mexico thing. So that's going to be exciting.
Mexico's good. I'm gonna reach out this week and try and confirm some stuff with Pat, and then we can talk about it next week. Everything.
Cool. Yeah, I think that'll be a fun adventure.
Yeah,
Playa del
Playa.com, man. It
Carmen.
looks good.
Yeah.
It
So,
looks real good.
any other closing comments?
No, stuff's good. We got to this upcoming weekend or something if we can. We got to try and get together again before you get out of here, before it creeps up and we don't even realize it, right?
Yeah. Let's try to get in the next couple of weeks. I definitely try to.
Yeah, let's try